Evening, everybody. It's 9 o'clock. It's Friday night. It's time for the What's on Joe Mind team stream. We got a full house just in time. Just in time to bust up guest host month. We actually did have a guest host plan, and then that turned into a whole thing tomorrow, and we'll talk more about that later. But hey, we'll be right back after you guys get done listening to our kick-ass theme song. All right. Joe Colton getting down.
I'm rocking out. It's Friday.
We did promise
a rough week.
We promised some dancing girls. So
we got one.
There you go.
We got one. But yeah, welcome to What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing this evening?
All right.
Ladies first.
Really excited it's Friday.
Right.
See you guys and talk G.I. Joe.
Here, clearly on a full boat of cocaine. The week absence at Awesome Con. She's the co-hostess with the co-mostess, the queen of G.I. Joe cosplay. Joe Colton is here.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
It's good to be back.
How was things out at Awesome Con this week?
It's a blur. Like, con life is different. after being away.
You've got Giancarlo Esposito with severed hands. Not his severed hands, mind you.
No. So the guy on the end, his name is Department H. He was Huey, and he came over like a couple days before, and Wes helped him with like painting the hands and the mask and stuff. And his face all day was that shocked look, like just with the hands, because it was his girlfriend. So it was great. So Giancarlo loves that character that he plays. So he was great. He told Wes he looks like Carl Urban.
I mean, minus about a foot, yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Look, that's
minus a foot, babe.
That is just as much a Carl Urban is way too tall crack as it is a Wes's short crack.
Carl Urban has 2 feet. What are you talking about?
He does. He's actually not
I'm not 5'2".
Yeah, he's not Carl Urban is not a tall man. I've stood next to him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a tall guy.
He's always presented as a very tall guy. So.
Yeah, I think he knows his angles.
I think it's that everybody else in Hollywood is 5'5".
Right.
He's married to Nicole Kidman, right?
No.
What?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I think you're thinking of that guy with the center tooth.
No, that guy's not married to her either now.
Not anymore.
No, not in a while. But...
country star guy. He was on
Keith
American
Urban.
Idol. Keith Urban, that's right.
Oh, well, okay, so you see where I went wild.
Also not a tall man.
No.
But, yeah, we always anytime Giancarlo Esposito shows up on screen, I am contractually obligated to say, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, he is really funny.
If he shows up, something's going down.
He was. I don't want to quote him because then the swear jar comes out. But like he was like, "This MFer," and like trying to he was just in character a lot with a lot of different fans. And so when he came to us, he was like, "What? It's so exciting!" So we got to hug. I got a hug out of him. It was great.
So McDowell has a question for you there, Joe. Who are you dressed as in this photo?
Oh, so in that photo, I'm Queen May from The Boys. She's
way too much coverage for Red Sonja.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I will
escorted you from the grounds if you were doing Red Sonja.
Yep.
Right.
You can do movie Red Sonja. She had more clothes on.
No, you can do Red Sonja at cons. You have to wear underpinnings. So
You got to have.
Look, on a
a
chainmail bikini, you better be anyway.
yeah. So I do have to tell you, speaking of Red Sonja, I was approached by a photographer who is well known and has asked me to do a Red Sonja costume, and I was like, I have no Red Sonja costume, and he's like, well, what if I get it commissioned? Would you do a photo shoot? And I was like, sure. So,
All right. So is that the one where Red Sonja is going to have like gym shorts, or?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm like, I'm not really fit these days. And he's like, well, how long would it take you to get like the fitness you want? And I was like, a year? Like,
Here. Give yourself some credit. 9 months.
9 months.
9 months tops. Anyways.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways, glad you had a good time.
It was really good, yeah.
And I'm glad you showed up 3 minutes before we went to air tonight. And so that's actually better than average.
So I'd like to just point out, I had to pick up William at the airport, and like going to the airport in DC has been like, I don't know what is going on. There was cops everywhere. I was like, get in the car.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the semantics here. No, you didn't have to.
Yeah.
You
No,
didn't
I'm, I'm on Joe's side. Anything that keeps William away from the driving wheel, the steering wheel, is a good thing.
I'm just saying he's got other friends.
She's kind of performing a public service at this point.
Does he? Does he have true friends?
I think
It's
the
like
cops,
literally us.
I think the cops were out because they thought William might be driving.
He might be driving home.
But
We need to
also,
at least set this up like a funeral procession so that people
He was
just
in
pull to the
Orlando
side
for
and
a
let him go.
week. He was like near his people, which means he no longer can drive. So we have to unlearn that again.
also joining us tonight before he disappears for a couple of Fridays,
Yeah.
former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand at Hasbro. That's the hot show, Mark Weber.
That's right. I'm about to head out to the motherland, back to Oregon. It's gonna be fantastic. It's a fantastic day and a half in Oregon, in Bend proper, heaven on earth. Then I'm hitting my favorite pizza parlor of all time, Pietro's Pizza. There's only 2 left. One of them's on the way to the Oregon coast, which is beautiful, but cold and savage and unforgiving. So bring a windbreaker, not a bathing suit.
Cold and savage and
unforgiving.
Oh yeah,
in the middle of June, it'll be a balmy 58 degrees.
people come to the Oregon coast with the complete wrong idea. So it's fun to watch them run out with their blankets and their beach balls. And even the dogs are shivering, like, I don't like the beach. That's Oregon, baby. So we're going to spend a couple days on the Oregon coast. Then it's up to Seattle and onto a boat. It's a gigantic family cruise to Alaska.
Ooh, neat.
Never been. So kind of looking forward to it.
Never been on a cruise or never been to Alaska?
Oh, I've been on cruises. They're great. Beaches, sun, water.
It sounds like you're ready to poop in a bag.
So
Or puke in a bag.
But Alaska,
Well, that you go over the side for.
Alaska, cold, eagles, that kind of
Whales.
stuff. Whales, plenty of those on the cruise. But I am looking forward to it. It's always good to go home, and we get to see the whole family. My kids don't see their cousins from Arizona often enough, so should be a good time. Looking forward to it. But that means, 2 shows without me. Try to make do.
We got subs. We'll announce that. We'll talk about that later.
I'm
Right.
missing half of the Gojo June.
Right? You're going to come back. You're going to barely know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, in contrast, here next week we're supposed to have a week in the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
Including, I saw one of, I think Monday or Tuesday, 99.
McDowell has another offer.
Right now it's 70.
To be West Coast. What's on Joe Mind?
Right? Be me in the West Coast Avengers style.
Right.
Be like me and Tigra and Wonder Man.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
you get Hawkeye.
Tigra.
Yeah, Hawkeye finally got to lead something. Mockingbird before she
Tigra.
left him.
Tigra. Sounds like tiger.
Yeah.
Like Magneto.
No, not like Magneto.
Yeah,
No,
right.
it's Tigra, Tigra.
Right, like Magneto, Magneto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
It is. It absolutely is.
because he's the master of magnetism, huh?
No, he's the master of Nito.
That's
Magneto
it, right?
sounds dumb.
Because you control, because of the magnet part of it throws you off.
Magneto sounds like it needs a hyphen.
Yeah.
If you want to throw Nito as the second
cereal.
If you want to throw Nito as the second syllable on a killer villain, go ahead.
But when you have that part as like part of an engine or something like that, it's called a Magneto.
So, anyways,
I can't argue with science.
If you
Comic
want
book phonics, that's what brings them in.
You want to continue? Shut up! We continue to support our wonderful channel and discussions like this. And I don't know how you couldn't. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like this video. Be sure to go back, watch the other videos in our library. We love you long time. And if you're watching us on Facebook tonight, go ahead, give us some kind of a reaction. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. And that all these things really help us get into the metrics and bring our videos to more people. Really, the thing you can do to help us out the most, whether you're watching us live, watching us on recording, subscribe to the channel, like the video here on YouTube. That's number one thing you can do to help us out. And we've got the other ways down below, too. We've got a merchandise shop. And the link is down there. We've got our coffee accounts, both for the channel and for Joe Colton's cosplay projects down below in the description down below. So, yeah, hit us up. Got a few extra dollars laying around. We'll gladly take those off your hands. So what do you say, since we got a lot on the docket tonight? Tonight's PowerPoint slides is like 24 of them, and I even forgot stuff. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get to community calendar.
There's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on your mind? Wants to know? Tell Mike, Mark, and Joe. Community calendar.
Again, special thanks to our listener, our viewer, our fan, Agent Chuckles. He is in the live chat tonight.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you for our community calendar theme song, which lets us once again portray a humiliating picture of Joe Colton.
But provided by Joe Colton. Let's not just pretend like
exactly put in the public sphere by Joe Colton.
Yeah.
Did I though? Did I do the toe picture?
Yes.
No, I just that wasn't to the public.
In fairness,
sphere.
you did not. You did the toe picture was not.
No.
I don't know why you sent the toe picture to me even, but you did. So yeah.
So I sent it to. It was on a girls' night chat, and you were on it, moderating or monitoring or whatever, controlling. You were the control guy.
I think that was the one where I got to sit fourth chair and just be a Weisenheimer. But anyway,
Yeah.
I was
Go
honorary lady for the night.
Yes. Community calendar. Go ahead.
Every week.
Sean Russell asked, does it count as more views if I watch more than once? Yes, it does.
Yes.
It doesn't help some other metrics, but it does help that raw count. So yeah, if you want to watch it twice, watch it twice. But what I would suggest doing, just before you go to bed at night, just call up the playlists and just click it and walk away. You can just let us play while you sleep.
We can haunt your dreams.
Yes.
I don't think he wants me haunting his dreams. He's a nice
It'll
man.
be like Sandman on Netflix.
I think I think
I want to see that.
I think you overestimate the moral turpitude of many of our viewers, Joe.
Oh, probably. Quite innocent.
Moral turpitude. Wow.
and Mark Webber just sits in the corner, moving his eyes back and forth.
Yep.
Nothing to say.
Nope.
Oh my!
Didn't even hear it.
I just keep every time I hear moral turpitude, I just keep thinking back to the guy in Bloom County from the moral majority.
He desperately wanted to chime in there, but he didn't. I'm impressed with your ability to resist, sir.
Yeah, I'm known for my restraint.
Oh, booger. All right.
All right.
First up on the old calendar. We've been telling you about it for a few weeks. It is going on this weekend. It started today. We got tomorrow and Sunday. It's the Dallas-Fort Worth G.I. Joe and Action Figure Show, as put on by the DFW G.I. Joe Collectors Club. They've been doing this for a long time. I'm sure that is a great toy room. It always is in the past. We've got some feet on the ground there. Doug Dello's hanging around here somewhere. He told us about it, and he was spouting off in the comments a few minutes ago that he left early to come watch the show.
Yeah.
So there we go.
He's got his priorities on.
Yep.
That's
good.
right.
That's adult decision making right there.
There we go. Matt O'Brien. Weber has no restraint with them brutal chest cuts.
Nope. Oh, I got a new one.
That's not even an LOL statement, Matt O'Brien. That is straight up legit.
Wait till you hear my new pet peeve coming soon to a podcast near you. About 20 minutes from now.
About to say, I don't know if we really have to wait that long.
Get ready. There's no better Weber than irascible Weber. Coming right up.
Has already went today, very 12-inch heavy. That's okay. But I bought a thunderclap. Excellent. Well done, sir.
Well done.
That's a big old vehicle.
Thunderclap's good stuff. That later half of Real American Hero, and most people are dialing out, those big vehicles were still top notch.
Driven by a redhead. Only a redhead could handle that thunderclap.
Well, there's a dirty joke in there somewhere.
Yes, there is.
But I'm gonna let that one lie. I'm gonna leave that one for Mark Weber and his renowned restraint.
Is Kevin Von Erich going to be at this show? I just figure.
I don't know.
Be in Dallas in the Sportatorium and all.
It is the Sportatorium, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, next up, Tampa Bay Toy Expo is also this weekend. That is tomorrow from 10 to 4 at the Hilton Garden Inn, Tampa. Free admission, free parking. This is all about getting yourself there and buying some toys. So get yourself there and buy some toys. Be like our viewer, Brad Glenn, who told us all about this one. We got anybody in Florida? Let us know in the comments.
Nope.
Sean Russell draws the conclusion, so he went to a toy show and got the thunderclap. Not unless it was the only one. He just got a thunderclap.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's that moral turpitude you were talking about.
Right? From the gentleman in question, no less.
When you space it, though, it stops being an artillery vehicle and starts becoming a personal affliction.
Right.
So be careful with that.
All right, you guys seem to forget. Like, I've hung out with Sean Russell at a JoeCon before. He is not just some stranger on the internet to me. I know this man. And, of course, coming up at the end of the month, June 24th, 26th, Joe Fest, a.k.a. the Augusta Toy Atomic Show. The Augusta Toy Atomic. No, the Augusta Toy and Comic Show.
Yes.
June 24th and 26th at the Augusta Convention Center in beautiful Augusta, Georgia. Don't bring the family because there's nothing else for them to do, but it's a great dealer room. If you're there to buy Joe's, you're in the right place at Joe Fest. Guests this year include Michael Bell, Greg Berger, Arthur Burkhart, Keone Young, and more. They are typically the guests of vendors, so I can't give you a whole lot of specific information as to when, where, and how they'll be around. But you want more details, check them out at joefestusa.com. And Joe Colton, you going this year? Joe Colton, you're muted. Everybody take a drink.
I am not going this year, no. And I haven't been asked to go as a guest either, so I will not be attending this year.
Right. Mark, you're out of town.
Yeah, it conflicts. And I had a good time last year. Dealer floor is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And the bummer for me, there's some cool guests there, but never met Arthur in person.
No.
Right? And he's been a blast when we've had him on the show. So got to meet him in person someday. And he's coming out from LA. You think I could make my way down from Rhode Island. But I'll be in Alaska. That's a better excuse.
But Draws Walker says, don't forget. I'm going to guess it's don't forget to say hi to HCC 788 if you go.
So mean.
Right? I mean, really, Draws Walker. That's he did. He did.
You're typing with your interior monologue again.
Yes, HCC 788 will be there as a vendor. I don't know. I didn't know how to announce that, but he's our good pal, and he'll be there. So be sure to stop in and say hey. I'm not making the trip. I don't think Racktime Rob's making the trip.
No.
It's just it's a bad year finance wise. So maybe next time around. But so what's on Joe Mind? Shut out from Joe Fest, but that's by no means a reason not to go.
Yeah.
It would be a better reason to go if we were the longest running G.I. Joe podcast was invited to places. But
live show.
Right, we'll get that. Those were never fun at JoeCon, were they? No, not at all.
No.
Never any kind of fun doing live What's on Joe Mind at JoeCon. No, terrible idea. One year we wore Justin Bell masks, but you can see pictures of that on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
So that's it for community calendar.
There's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on Joe Mind wants to know. Tell Mike, Mark, and Joe. Community calendar.
And the reason I play that twice in every episode.
To get me.
It's to get you, but no, it's actually because when I put YouTube up on the TV, and I'm flipping through and I stop on our program, the little thumbnail starts to move, and every time it picks the spot where Joe is looking very concerned and we can't quite tell what's going on behind her. That is always the thumbnail on the TV. So I put it in there twice in the hopes that we'll catch it every time.
That's it. YouTube knows what Grandma Weber always said. Skin the wind, baby. That's right.
Weber, she was a wise woman.
She was. Esther, man, Esther was wild. Nadine, not so much, but Esther,
she was crazy.
Oh my goodness!
Lock up the tequila.
Yeah. 1932 Charleston champion. Just saying.
That brings us to the news. All right, Joe Colton, right on cue.
I was going to tell her she was muted and see if she fell for it.
How dare you?
I'm going to save that one. I'm going to save that one for a couple months, Joe, but it's coming back.
Sir.
First news item, the After Action Report Kickstarter still marching on. Got close to a month left on this thing. It is funded, so you can go ahead and pledge with confidence. It is volume 2. There is a pledge on there where you can get both books. Right now, it's up around 13,000. The goal is 7,000, so everything is taken care of. This is going to happen. 25 days left to go. Been a little slow on updates, but it's because co-author and good friend of the program, Roger Taft, had a hospital stay in there. And he is good now. He is home finally. He is on the mend. He is healthier. Everything is good with Roger, big picture. But yeah, for a little while there, it was kind of worrying because it came out of nowhere on him. And he actually left all kinds of updates on his own personal Facebook page. So if you really want to know Roger's health history, that's out there for you. He put it out there, but I won't talk about it here. But yeah. So, but yeah, by all means, pledge After Action Report Volume 2. Volume 1 is a wealth of information. Volume 2, Volume 1 was all about the Marvel run. Volume 2 is all about Devil's Due. So get on in there. It's affordable. Yeah, again, if you can pledge to get both volumes if you missed the first one. Go ahead and get out there. It's a good buy. I'm reading Diana Davis's fascinating zombie fanfic in the comments. I apologize.
I was reading about a guy dropping RoboSkull. I hope they'll stay funded.
Right.
That'd be a heartbreaker.
Those guys are 100,000 heirs. Next news item. Another new project, Warriors of the Hidden Force. We it's been some reveals getting done the last few weeks. We finally got it on the show last week from our good friends at Whiskey Jack Toys. This is Kuso. I think he's the best friend to the main character, Shinobi. But these are 3 3/4 O-ring ninjas. More details coming soon. I believe this is going to be a Kickstarter project for later in the year. You can follow on Facebook at Whiskey Jack Toys and at Warriors of the Hidden Force.
He's the grass ninja?
He's the grass ninja.
So he's only available in Colorado, California, and Washington?
Legally, he is available in 23 states. Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's also pretty readily available in the other states.
Right.
You just gotta keep a lid on it.
You gotta know a guy.
Gotta know somebody.
Yeah, you gotta know somebody at the middle school.
This looks like some really good stuff, man.
It's good stuff. But,
Except no substitutions. That'll just be the oregano ninja.
Mark, your thoughts on another O-ring project?
I mean, O-ring's kind of hot right now, so
who knew?
Okay, at least other than Ninja Force, which was a little bit neon,
and not very O-ring as a
so it looks like a kind of a cool niche to go into. So yeah, I'm intrigued.
Yes, it was. I'm waiting to see more. Right now, they're filling in a lot of story.
Right.
His accessories, the pound bag of Doritos, and
he's got orange paint ops on his fingertips.
Right,
total Cheeto fingers.
Cheetos. Oh yeah. And then the bad guys have red paint apps because they'd only do the hot Cheetos.
Right.
But yeah, get yourself, if you want to know more, get yourself over to Facebook. Follow those two sites on screen, and yeah, I'll get you filled in.
He's probably wiping his hands on Storm Shadow's back all the time.
Right.
Storm Shadow's not looking.
Joe Colton, are you in for Red Ninjas?
Maybe.
Depends on how red.
She's in for Red Ninjas.
Maybe.
She's totally in for Red Ninjas.
Those will be the cherry ninjas.
Next news item. All right. Hey, look, it's Call Sign Longbow. And we've been trying to help out Call Sign Longbow just as much as possible. We are going live tomorrow with John and Troy from Call Sign Longbow, from Grindstone Toys. We will be live on air for the last hour of the campaign, and then we'll do a little wrap up afterwards. So about 90 minutes of bonus special edition team stream tomorrow. And that Joe Colton will not be with us because Joe Colton likes to miss stuff. But she'll be back next week.
I will.
And Mark will be with us tomorrow, but he'll be gone next week.
Yeah.
So this is all very confusing.
Yeah, we'll try to keep it straight. If only we had somebody to schedule all the hosts.
So somebody does schedule all the hosts, and nobody listens anyway.
Nope. Hey, I bumped up my my longbow. I was in for 4 to start with. I bumped it up to 6 this week. I like their adapter. It looks great.
All in, baby.
Yeah.
All in.
How do you think I afford this expensive wardrobe? Right? Like, come on now.
It's 9 figures unlocked at this point.
These hats don't grow on trees.
But to keep you posted, next stretch goals are the Ghost gear update at $183,000. As of right this second, that's about $5,000 off. So that's probably going to happen. The tracksuit henchman, as you can see in the photo there, he is next at $198,000 as far as figures go. And so that I'd say that has a pretty good chance. And then the Krasny Ninja, which is the ninja with the furry hat, at $228,000. There's more stretch goals past that. Already unlocked the initial 4. Then there was the Outlaw Ghost and the Marauder Retro Ops Trooper and stretch goals. And then the Steel Web Shock Trooper and the Adapt Trooper are Kickstarter exclusives. So 9 figures unlocked already. So it's all in is starting to get to be a nice little package there for the money. But by all means, get yourself over to Call Sign Longbow on Kickstarter and get your pledge in now because it ends tomorrow.
Krasny.
Go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say Krasny Ninja is awesome, but he also sounds like something you could order at Little Caesars.
Right.
Right?
Right. And he's got a silly furry hat, so I mean, yeah, maybe.
You get your choice of 3 dip sauces.
Right.
You get nacho
Just
cheese,
3.
nacho cheese, pizza, and ranch. What else do you need?
If I go all in, can I get all the sauces?
Yes.
Yes.
Even the Mulan Szechuan.
Even the Mulan Szechuan sauce. Yes, special. And as you can see, yes, Call Sign Longbow, Countdown to Victory, tomorrow night here on the What's on Joe Mind YouTube channel. They put 8 Central on there for whatever. Nobody uses Central Time.
Come on.
Come on now. Says the podcast with the 4 hosts in the Eastern Time Zone.
Yep.
Come on. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Well, look, he's in Mountain, so they split the middle.
Fair enough. He's at Mountain Time where there's really nobody.
Right? Just people in tinfoil hats and bomb shelters and
All the sauces and crazy bread.
Krasny bread.
Crazy bread. There we go.
Comes with a little hat.
A little furry nutria hat.
And Neil Hill pretty much has my thoughts put together very nicely. I want that tracksuit henchman. I will be extremely disappointed if that tracksuit henchman doesn't happen.
I like that they made it plural. I want that tracksuit henchmen.
Right.
Nobody's if it's available, nobody's buying one.
No.
Right?
No. I'm ponying up for a second one. Absolutely.
Yeah, nobody's like, come on, tracksuit henchman. No, gotta be a couple. At least two of them to be stooges together, right?
Right.
Run into each other and stuff. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm wanting this to
Bertsky
get
and Ernestov.
several waves so that we get different colored tracksuit henchmen. Like just make the whole Skittles bag of tracksuit guys. All for it.
And your favorite? Lime.
Right, of course, naturally. Speaking of, finish that bag of Skittles this week. And I think I'm good for the next 10 years on Skittles.
Yeah, I get you.
I am good. That's call sign Longbow. Thick in the crotch. And next news item. Hey, that brings us to tonight's main event. That's right. This past Wednesday was a Hasbro Pulse fan stream. They're not trying to call it Fan Wednesday or anything like that. Just the Yojo June Chapter 2.
You got a whole month. Well, you don't need to name the days. You got a whole month.
Fair enough. But they're all on Wednesdays, so they could have gone Fan Wednesday, and nobody really would have called them out on it.
True.
But that's why we're the best. We call them out on that stuff.
I don't know what to say.
That's it. That's entirely it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, and they show their appreciation by not sending you a box.
By not sending anything, ever. By not responding to emails. Yes. It's wonderful. But anyways, we'll be right back to talk more about this in depth after a quick word from our sponsor.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
There we go. Mark Weber, did you jump that time?
Moonraker.
All right.
It's not the VHS. That's the 12-inch dolls.
Right.
Even better.
But, first up, the announcement of 2 more characters who will be introduced in next year's classified assortment. But,
Woohoo!
Torpedo and Copperhead.
Did we make this, or is this the image from the actual stream?
No, this is me throwing together a 10-minute slapdash graphic before I went to work.
Okay, then it's fabulous.
And for some reason, the 2 weeks that I've done this, both times it has been 10-minute slapdash efforts before I went to work. It's gotten us more Twitter traction than anything else we've done in the last 6 months.
That's
Twitter
great.
gold, baby.
Oh, I hate social media
Slapdash.
so much. I just wish it was just already oh my god. And McDowell says gives him hope for Python Copperhead. You better believe it, because they're going to try and recoup the money on that one.
Who wouldn't want a $30 figure of a secondary paint scheme on a secondary figure?
Look,
We're shelling out the $30 for the primary paint scheme of the secondary figure.
Profit Director Destro happened, so yeah, Python Copperhead doesn't make me too upset.
I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we don't even know if these are going to be what they actually look like. They're, again, slapdash graphic thrown together in 10 minutes before I went to work.
Great.
So, yeah, enjoy. Twitter winners right here.
But while I'm being nasty about Copperhead or Python Copperhead, absolutely thrilled about Torpedo. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm thrilled about Copperhead.
Yeah. What's his job again?
He is big and punches guys.
Oh, I thought he drove the water moccasin.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Big
So weird.
and punches things.
You're crazy, Mark. I've never water what?
Python Patrol version, also different colored glove version. That'll be hard to find.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I can't wait for blue gloves Copperhead.
we had Blue Eye Beachhead.
The chase variant.
I wouldn't be against it, but
That would be fantastic, frankly.
I like Copperhead, I do, but he's part defined by his vehicle that he's not going to come with. So
Yeah.
I think what helps Copperhead is the fact that he did get a single card release, even though it was Python.
Yeah.
So what'd they call him then? Like he was like a swamp fighter?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he was the de facto commander of Python Patrol. He was the only named character ever.
True.
But
I think his
anyway.
primary military specialty was we have the tooling already.
Right.
So,
We have the tools.
But
We have
next
the
up,
technology.
the Hasbro team did reveal the contents of the next complete wave, as well as announce that every wave from here on forward is going to be 5 figures. So that's nice. No more of these 2 and 3 person or 2 and 3 character half waves. It's going to be 5 in each one. Boom.
Yep.
Okay.
And first up, Falcon. And I could hear, I mean, he's up in Rochester, New York, but I could hear Carson screaming from here in Indianapolis.
yeah.
So
That was a squee word heard around the world.
right,
Yeah.
it was a very hypersonic kind of, yeah.
Mhm.
But Falcon is awesome. Falcon is great. He's one of those guys that it doesn't bother me that they are pretty well just completely redoing the vintage version in a bigger scale because that vintage version got it right.
Yep.
Right. Like, but
Wasn't the ascot red?
Nick Adams says that his scarf is a little too high. I mean, Nick Adams would know as he is used to focusing on above the neck. So
Wasn't the scarf red though?
no,
No, it was green.
Did I get that wrong? Okay.
yeah, you're up.
Yeah, Jimmy
Right.
had that figure.
Yes, it is currently sitting in a Rubbermaid tub right over there. Looks like he has the techie bit on his webbing that Duke has. Yes, he does, and I like that.
The Joe Pro.
Yes,
I do like that touch. There've been a couple figures that haven't had it lately, and I'm glad they're getting back in, adding that on.
Yep, I agree.
But also, go ahead, Mark.
Is it the exact same beachhead beret repainted?
Probably.
Because this one looks a little, I don't know, there's a funky kind of cut to it over there on the left side.
It looks like it sits different, so it is possible. I can't say that I've gotten a good enough look at it to do that, to really say for sure. It's tough to tell with the computer renders.
He looks great.
My guess is it's going to be the same.
I love how they're putting straps over the terrible chest cut, just like they did on 25th pretty quickly. Yeah.
And it's
But he doesn't have smushy face like on the 25th.
True. nor the tiny hips where the top of the thighs are bigger.
We're looking at you, Mutt.
Just,
Wouldn't it be the same beret as Flint? Yes, but Beachhead came out first, so yeah.
Actually, I think the Beachhead beret is a little different than the Flint beret.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't, like I said, this is a computer render. I didn't pay that much attention to the beret. I'm sure someone will discuss that in greater detail.
They might not have either.
We have the technology. We can repaint him.
bah, 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 bah.
I looked it up. Yeah, for Python Patrol, Copperhead is listed as a swamp fighter.
There you go.
Huh.
Racktime Rob is our crack research staff. Now that he can't moderate chat.
You know how you become a swamp fighter for Cobra? You crash your cool boat.
Yeah.
That's how you become a swamp fighter.
Question for Webb: what's the rationale behind announcing figures we're not going to have in hand for at least 2 years? Well, these are billed as being for 2023, so not sure where 2 years is coming from. But
I know it's Dragon, but I mean they can't go dark, right? And just pretend like nothing's happening. So I don't have any problem.
Well, plus I think they're trying to get ahead of the news cycle because people kept spoiling their other releases.
Right?
How dare they?
Well, and I've been on both sides of that, and it sucks, right? When I'm all set for BotCon, and then 2 things leak the week of, and I got to change or instead of really changing the presentation, I would be like, as you found out on Monday, but I want to be able to hit the button and show off the new Megatron, and when that gets stolen from you, it does suck.
Which is probably why we didn't drop a look what we got from Hasbro today video.
Yeah.
That's next up in this wave. Barbecue from Slaughter's Marauders. Hey, talking about repaints that you didn't really necessarily ask for. This is your guy right here.
That's
not my favorite either.
Yeah.
That's
what rhymes with fun necessary.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's
warmer.
I think fun necessary is the term you want to use there. It is.
That's a choice.
Is there any Slaughter Marauder figure that was an improvement on the original?
No. I did love the vehicles back in the day, though. I thought the vehicles were great.
Almost every Night Force was an improvement, and some, maybe half of Tiger Force was. Maybe, and that's generous. I'm not a big.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call them improvements, but I would say that more than half of them were passable.
Yeah.
So Tiger Force, the figures were a lot less garish overall than the vehicles were, which is the opposite of Python Patrol.
But I think if anybody works in Slaughter's Marauders well, I think Barbecue does it best.
It's like being the nicest guy in prison.
Sure, but
copyright Jim Cornette, 1986.
Like if somebody came to me and said, I just don't care for that orange getup, but this looks more military for me, I wouldn't necessarily argue that.
Yeah, okay, I give you that.
You did release the forest colors, blowtorch.
Right.
Yeah, but I only did that because it didn't cost me item count, and fans wanted it. So that was a no-brainer. Put it with Crimson Croc Master. Didn't cost me a single item. Boom, out the door.
You didn't get us our Honda Lou and Satin 2-pack though.
Right? No, I wanted to give you the French Mayor. That's a deep cut. Good luck finding out where that's referencing.
Articulated Chad is recounting what they said. Lenny said their vision for Classified was to make lots of teams. He's keeping his word with all the sub-team repaints. This could have been down the road after Python Patrol and Tiger Force. It just had been just fine. So yeah, I'm cool.
Lenny's cool.
Yeah, we know Spirit's coming, so that's an easy repaint too.
Mm-hmm. My vision for Classified is new characters.
Well, let's not go crazy here. I
mean, just a couple. Not that'd be all of them, but 1 or 2.
I would even settle for new stuff with old characters, but I digress. Okay. Next up, Outback in his regular gear. That's a win.
Yep.
White T-shirt does make it tough to hide that brutal chest cut, though.
Sure does. And the font on that Survival's got to be thickened up a little bit, right? Like, come on now.
Look at me poking the bear.
Somebody said when this was first out, they said, "I'm glad they showed us this early enough for me to cancel my Tiger Force Outback."
Boo! Tiger Force Outback he is a stunning level of bad. That's why I love him.
Yeah, he's kitschy. He's got a little more going on.
He's so crazy. It's fun. But also the Crimson Bat and Cleanup. And yeah, sure, whatever. I certainly wasn't asking for this. Joe Colton, all right, you gonna since it's a red robot, is that gonna take the place next to the Red Ninjas?
You're on mute.
No, I said no. You're an ass. I was not.
You're
on mute. I didn't touch it.
You were totally muted.
Yeah.
You were sitting there talking, and then nothing was happening. I'm just sitting here laughing about it. Come on.
No, I actually prefer the original bat to this thing. I don't know. I feel like it's like almost incomplete, and also like there's something missing. I don't know if it's just because like when it's all black and it has like all the different colors in the center, like it just pops more, but he's kind of like, I don't know, like he's like the beta version.
The chest plate's going to pop a little bit more because it's going to contrast off the uniform. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Reminds me a little bit of the Inferno bat that they did as that mail away some years back.
Yes, I don't know. I'm just, yeah.
I mean, if they're pinched by item count, I get it. But
yeah, I mean, again, I'm not doing backflips over this, but they could have done worse. And
it's not new; it's just dull.
Yeah,
yeah. This isn't a must-have.
Michael Mercy chimes in with, "We'll get Marauders or Tiger Force Mayor of Paris before the regular deco."
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I hear the Tiger Force Parisian Mayor has white hair.
Ooh.
Makes sense.
And the white mustache. Anyways, you'll all get the background on that joke before too long.
Yeah, wait for it.
Right?
You didn't miss it. Don't dig.
Yeah. No, it has not been made public yet, although it will be soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then rounding out the cast, cover girl Gary Godso is thrilled.
Does she come with a little Hannibal figure? I hope so.
Maybe. I should.
She looks great.
She comes with a little Gary figure.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about the figure itself in a second. But yes, I just want to put this out there and say that it happened before there was a snow job figure. So just to make sure that is recorded specifically for posterity
somewhere.
So to fill in everybody who hasn't been listening, watching, following What's on Joe Mind for the last 11 plus years, way back when Hasbro was before Mark was working there.
Yeah.
Hasbro was putting out those 3-packs of new sculpt figures. And one of the choice that we actually wound up getting was that CoverGirl, Spirit, and Hannibal 3-pack that came with the comic, and Gary was very upset about this because there were several other choices that he wanted before he wanted to see that one. Specifically ones that had certain army builder characters or characters that hadn't been done before. But no, the fandom supposedly spoke up and picked Repaint Spirit, a new CoverGirl, which is a nice figure, and a Hannibal figure that nobody wanted, with some weird accessories even. But so from that moment on, Gary has had a blood feud. Our former host, Gary Gotso, a blood feud with the fictional character CoverGirl, and refuses to grant any quarter. But here she is in the classified line before Snow Job, which is his personal favorite. So
Gary hated CoverGirl.
He did.
You hate Mercer.
Yeah, but I'm right.
Joe hates Recondo.
He's wrong.
Rob, is there a brutal hatred that might seem unjust or would surprise the fandom?
Not really.
So I understand my hatred is irrational, but I continue to.
So look, your hatred is more rational than Gary's hatred.
Fair.
I lived part of that story. Yeah, I'm going to give you that one. But Joe Colton, you are our lead female correspondent. Why don't you talk to us about our female?
I really, really love the head sculpt. Like, it's very clean. Her hair looks great. She doesn't look cross-eyed. There's no hunched over neck. The shirt is a contrast to her skin tone, so she doesn't look like she's not wearing any clothing underneath. Everything is feng shui. I love the holsters. I even love her shin guards or her spats. Like, it's a good figure. And I like the
Yeah.
fingerless gloves. That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and her iconic jacket is her iconic jacket. And they didn't overdo it with the giant neck, fur neck. So I've worn those jackets, and they're awful.
Right. Yeah. It's just 2 pounds of material.
Well, if you get that, then it's a bomber jacket. Then it's a literal like aviator bomber pilot jacket. That's not CoverGirl. That's
Yeah.
No. So yeah, as a wave,
great.
I would say this works really well as a 3-figure wave.
Yeah.
That got stretched out over 5 figures. But hey, at least those 3 figures are winners.
Yeah. I'll be getting her. I don't know about some of those other ones.
What's her job again in Joe?
She is counterintelligence. They sent her to spy school, remember?
So she's Scarlet.
Scarlet Light. No, that's what Devils did with her.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh.
I'll back off a bit.
A mechanic.
I'll back off a bit if they give her mechanic stuff, right?
Yeah.
If she's got a couple of wrenches and things. Because
Yeah.
I always thought they never played that up enough.
That would be cool though. Like, she's the girl who can figure shit out.
Yep. More than being the tank driver.
Yeah.
I dug that. The idea that she went from runway model to not just mechanic, but best mechanic in their whole grease pit, right?
Yeah.
I think they should have done more with Clutch and Steeler under an armadillo or something going, I don't know. I can't figure it out. And then have her come in and just go tweak, tweak, tweak. There you go, boys. That would be cool. I wish there was more of that. So if they give her some mechanic stuff, maybe that's what that giant holster is for.
Like a
monster wrench, right?
Right.
But again, she's a vehicle driver. So there aren't a whole lot of vehicle drivers with enough cachet to get a single figure without their ride. CoverGirl's probably one of them.
yeah.
But I hope they give her. It's a great looking figure. I hope they give her some mechanic stuff.
CoverGirl's one of them. I think Copperhead, could be too.
Yeah,
Wild Bill,
better than most, and Wild Bill, sure, I'll give you that. But beyond that, yeah,
maybe Steeler.
I love Steeler.
Yeah,
Love him. One of my 5 favorites. I don't need him without a tank.
Sunbow CoverGirl could be a repaint because in her debuts in Sunbow she had on a different uniform. Yes, and she had different hair, so that could do a
long blonde hair, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be all right. Help pay off those molding costs. Diana Davis says, "I always imagined her cover in motor oil, slinging foul language at Clutch."
Yep.
And probably so did half of our commenters, but
right.
They had different feelings about it afterwards.
I get that this is a digital render, but now that I've been banging on the chest cut drum forever, the neck cut's starting to get to me a little bit when it's flesh to flesh. That pretty significant cut where upper chest ends and neck starts. It's perfect for a t-shirt cut, and I realize that doesn't work for CoverGirl, but we'll see how the figure looks. On the digital render, it's a little jarring.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So also covered, they did get a sneak peek at the Sarge diorama shots, even though Sarge is not made available just yet. He's not up for pre-order. And
that was quick.
Double click. Woo! And there's Sarge with little Sarge. They commented that nobody guessed the strange extra accessory that Sarge is going to come with. And as Lenny explained, since Sarge was first seen in a G.I. Joe commercial trying to sell a Sergeant Slaughter action figure, they had him come with a Sergeant Slaughter action figure of his own. So neat. I dig it.
Me too.
And he's got a weapon and he's got all kinds of extra hands, and Sarge is just going to be a winner. But
butterfly shoulders look a little weird when it's flesh tone.
Yeah.
Just saying. But more articulation. So
And,
yeah, that's a good point.
Ryan Sweeney points out, congrats to Adam Riches for the box artwork for Sarge. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. I'm not one who gets moved by that very easily, but no, it's very, very good work there. Lots of different incarnations of our favorite barrel-chinned pro wrestler.
And not to kiss too much butt, because we don't want Adam Riches' head to get too big. But I think he's really grown as an artist over the last several years.
Sure.
Like, I just think his stuff now is, I always liked his stuff, but I think his stuff now is just miles better than even 4 or 5 years ago. So his growth as an artist is impressive, I think.
Plus the fact on that art, he did basically like 4 or 5 different styles on it to reflect like the different media he's appeared in. All of them came off really well.
Yep. I dig it. I think he should win all of the Royal Guard figures for that.
I only have the one.
Yeah, and he wants it.
He wants them all.
Yep. And I love that he's cornered the market on single Royal Guards, because it means there's all sorts of Globulus and Nemesis enforcers out there without their buddy. Because every one he gets is a family he's breaking up somewhere in Cobra Law.
It's articulated. Chad says, "Is it just me, or is it ironic that Mini Sarge figure has a plastic blister on the card? What happened to plastic free?"
Plastic's not free. Plastic costs. That's why it's going out.
Nope.
For really plastic free, all these figures will be made of onion meal.
Right. And next up, we've got the Snake Eyes and Timber 2-pack. Pre-orders are open at most major toy retailers. Suggest retail price $44.99. This is expected to ship in January of next year, so not too long of a wait there. But Snake Eyes and Timber are straight up repaints. I think we got some new gear for Snake Eyes, but otherwise, Timber's a repaint of the one that we got in the Alpha Commandos pack. It's a nice looking set. It's an easy pass if you've bought all the other Snake Eyes that have been put out there. But I guess if you want more wolves, this is an easy way to do it. Joe Colton, you need more wolves?
Nope.
Come on, Joe Colton.
Nope.
We know you love the animals.
I am running out of space, dude.
Get a better wolf for any Jon Snow figures you have.
Right?
I have no Jon Snow figures.
Yeah, it's just, well, he knows nothing.
Does he have a shuriken in his hand on there?
Yeah.
He has the shuriken hand that the special Snake Eyes had, you know, that they introduced the line.
Okay, got
the
it.
00.
Okay. So this is Green Pants and White Wolf, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why is Timber white? I think they were trying to match the color for the 85 Snake Eyes a little bit better.
Yeah.
And where was it? Where to go? Where to go?
You remember earlier when I said if I'm all in, do I get all the sauces?
Yes.
Does that include this week sauce? Oh,
Weak.
Wow.
week sauce.
That's an attempt at a dad joke trying to tell a young person joke.
Uh-huh.
But
I love the box art.
McDowell echoes my sentiments. That is a neat box. That is a neat box. That looks. It's got a very Adventure Team vibe to it.
However, are you going to spend $45 on just the box that you like?
No, absolutely not.
What's with the giant Snake Eyes on the right side of it?
Oh, it's like the weird profile thing.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like they're running in front of a large.
It might continue on the side there. I don't know.
That would be weird. Then he would be facing backwards.
He's Snake Eyes. He does what he
Yeah,
wants.
the color palette there, Super Saiyan Bebo says, I can't barely see the green on the Snake Eyes. His pants, his military pants there are a very dark greenish brown. It's I think Lenny said it was supposed to be a nod more to Renegades, how he looked in Renegades.
Yeah.
So again, cool. If you missed out on some earlier Snake Eyes, you can certainly pick up one of these to fill in that particular spot. Or if you're just a Snake Eyes guy and you gotta catch them all like Pokemon, this is a good one. But if you've gotten all the other Snake Eyes, this is an easy pass for my collection.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to make this kind of stuff once in a while, but it is what it is. It's cash grab.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, but like I said, if you missed out on the early ones, it's a way of getting this out. So,
Yeah.
Matt O'Brien throws out there right before this stream. It said they found a new listing for Figure and Pet. I don't know who actually found that, or I'd give credit. I caught a glimpse of it flipping through Twitter, and it's not this Snake Eyes and Timber. What are my thoughts? I don't know. First time hearing of it too, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll dig at it. But I look, we struck pay dirt a couple of times as far as stuff getting leaked.
Yeah.
And we'll certainly let you know if we find anything. That said, don't ever expect us to find anything.
Security got tightened a little bit in the last year.
Right.
Yeah.
We try, but
Don't know why.
We've driven them to leak it themselves.
Right. Right. We are those buttholes. So it's a badge we wear with pride. But again, we'll do our best for you. And we'll certainly keep everybody posted as we find out more. I'm not sure it's a pet thing. I'm thinking it might. If I had to wager a guess, it would be a listing for that deluxe Mindbender, which doesn't seem to have a home on any other listings as of yet. But we'll see. We'll see.
Another cash grab.
Yeah. Well, look, deluxe Mindbender is awesome. Mindbender, I'll give him that.
Mindbender's great. It just doesn't need to be deluxe.
He's got all that extra stuff.
Yeah, and he could come for what, $15 cheaper without it. So,
Well, here's the thing. On the live stream, basically they mentioned that they gave Slaughter fists, because they said they're giving him someone to fight. And they're holding Mindbender, they're holding Slaughter off for San Diego, they said. Could that be Slaughter and Mindbender 2-pack?
I mean, it could, because there's almost no history, right?
Maybe it's a Serpentor with a big snake. Maybe
just because Mindbender looks like a pro wrestler.
I mean, they did fight a lot in the Arise Serpentor Arise before he, when he was trying to get his DNA.
I remember him and Mindbender like throwing soup bones.
Yeah, they did. Remember, they were fighting. That's what cost them Sun Tzu's DNA.
I suppose that's true. Yeah. Been a while.
Although they did show
Serpentor miniseries again.
Yeah, they did show a box. They did show a box for Mindbender. So a complete box though, didn't they? So I'm probably off base then on that.
Best known for his close quarter combat.
Right.
Yeah.
But next up, I think Mark, you've got the images for this one.
Oh, I totally do. Hang on.
Go on, share that in there.
Share the screen, not the audio though.
No, I mean you can if you want to, but
there you go. Pow!
Yeah, as we got some more Transformer action. This is what we told you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we, and I even guessed the right character. Although I'll be honest, I did not know that in advance. I just knew that there was an Autobot, a transforming Autobot coming. So, for everybody expecting an evil laugh, Mark Weber, your thoughts?
I get why they went with Bumblebee. He's the guy pretty much if you're not going big like Optimus. I do like that the yellow of Bumblebee is completely obscured when he's in vehicle mode, because a yellow Ostriker would look really weird.
Yeah.
So you see some yellow around the back, but
if they were gonna do Bumblebee, I think they've done this pretty well. I like that it comes with Stalker. That's great, and more Stalker is good for everything. The robot looks pretty good, other than the hollow forearms. Something Transformer fans absolutely detest is when they don't make the forearms and the legs solid. So, and you know what? It's kind of cool. I don't have any big problem with it, other than there actually is an Autobot who turns into an Ostriker, pretty much, other than the canon in Beachcomber. And lots of people have said, I mean, I get why they didn't make Beachcomber a D-level Autobot instead
of a pacifist.
Bumble.
I think that's generous, B level.
I said D.
Okay, all right.
D level.
Fair enough. That's about right.
Yeah, and unless they're going to do a vamp, I guess it could have been Hound, but it works. It's fine.
Charlie,
it's not as they've sent some photos. There's some photos out there now of that Megatron HISS tank, and he's like 3 miles deep in the back. Right, I don't know how he's not going to tip over.
Right.
So the shots of him from the front were generous, because it's pretty much a HISS tank, not just backpack, but like Santa's Christmas bag over his shoulder. So it looks like this worked together a little better.
Yeah, it does. It does look a little less kibbly.
Yeah.
So kudos to the design team on that one. Charlie Garrison has figured out how I have that image saved on my hard drive. Bumble Striker. But Joe Colton, what you thinking here? I know you love the robots.
So much love on the robots. Loving the robots.
What if he was bored?
So I love Stalker. I don't know about this. I think he's cool that it like the yellow parts are hidden. I would probably just keep him not as Bumblebee.
The other bit here is this is all brand new tooling, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen so much Striker in the last decade.
Yeah.
Because there isn't much
So
left.
much.
I get that. I lived that. But this is brand new vehicle tooling.
Yeah.
Couldn't you have made this the Hammer and a little more expensive or something cool that we miss?
But Joe
Yeah,
fans
but
are
the
cheap.
last one was something that we've seen tooled a million times in the last couple of years too.
Yeah.
He-
And it's
He
and
wasn't
it's bad.
He wasn't particularly generous with praise on that either, Rob.
No,
I
and
know.
And that was before I knew it was, longer than it is tall.
So I will say this might be the first robot I actually do buy just because it's cool. But I do agree with Mark if they went a little bit bigger and a little bit more expensive. But the flip side is Joe fans are kind of cheap. They're like Star Trek fans.
Right.
No offense, but
No.
we do like our deals.
This is $20 cheaper than the Hiss and than the Megatron and Baroness.
But yeah, I just hope that if they're,
It's cool.
I just hope it's not the only way to get Stalker and Baroness if you're not interested in transforming robots.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it is going to be, because I'm not sure, this O-ring I think is just kind of a short-term anniversary kind of thing. I don't think it's got a whole lot of legs to it.
Yeah.
But I think we'd see a lot more product for it by now if it had more legs.
I think that's the underlying story, Mike, and nobody's talking about it loudly, is the whole O-rings are back feels very, very short term. And I don't know if that was always the plan or if that's what they've adapted to.
There's a lot of people hoping it stays, and I'm just like, toys have evolved. I'm sorry.
I'm at P there. If you did find a way to get those two figures out in a 2-pack,
Yeah.
I'd buy that.
I wonder if we're not seeing a lot of product just because they know they have to completely change the way they package them now.
True.
Maybe.
They did say on the last live stream they did that basically they have to put the retro down for a bit as they figure out what the hell they're going to do with them. So
Now that's garbage. That's bullshit. Oh,
Ooh! Mark Webber throwing it in the change jar.
how did vehicles used to come?
in a box.
Steel box. I mean, you can get some of them didn't even have the plastic window, right? They just had
Yeah.
the faux plastic window.
No, I'm
And-
talking about the figures themselves.
Well, okay, figures, yes.
Yeah.
But vehicles used to come like that. Part of the joy of collecting Joe was building your vehicles, which saves a ton at the factory level that they don't have to be assembled. Just drop them in a bag, drop the screws in the box, and off it goes. So that part doesn't have to be figured out. Figures, yes.
But yeah, Action Figure Expert is echoing what I said last week.
Yeah.
Main reason they went with Bumblebee is because he's an iconic character. He's always a small vehicle, so that had to go with the Off Striker. Okay, yeah, we get it. I don't think anybody's necessarily questioning that Bumblebee had to be that. Like, this is going to be, if you're asking me, this Transformer crossover thing has 4 entries, right?
Probably.
We're going to get a Megatron, we're going to get a Prime, we're going to get a Bumblebee, and either a Soundwave or a Starscream.
We're not getting a Starscream.
Again, maybe it'll be something silly like a Skyhawk or something that's workable.
Oh yeah. Starscream has something dumb. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like a shark or something, right?
You're not getting a Sky Striker Starscream.
Right. That's why I'm throwing Soundwave into the mix there too, because even though Soundwave is a tape deck, they've turned him into other stuff in the past too. So maybe Soundwave is a Stinger Jeep or something.
I turned him into something.
But yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Good on you.
And they said he only needs one cannon.
You want to take a minute to do an evil laugh?
Just the bit. I fought like hell with the designers. He only needs one cannon. Soundwave came with 2 cannons. Now he only needs 1. You just plug it in up in the turret. And I'm like, the His tank had 2 cannons. So you're just going to give it 1 and give Soundwave 1 and not be authentic to the Transformers character or the Joe vehicle he's representing.
Right.
That's what we're doing. I won that one. I didn't always win. I won that one.
Woo! Okay. But yeah, so Autobot Joe package came last week. It was Bumblebee. You heard it here first. There we go.
But that was more lucky guess than anything.
Again, the specifics were lucky guess, but we told you an Autobot was coming. We told you an Autobot was coming.
Yes.
Sometimes Mike's predictions are evil.
Was it an evil petting zoo?
So we'll keep it in O-rings. And up next was the O-ring 2-pack with Duke and Cobra Commander. And I really dig that Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
Duke, I think I like better without the helmet on, which is why that picture doesn't work for me. But Duke is okay and all. But that Cobra Commander is really the star of the 2-pack for me. I gotta admit, I'm losing a little bit of steam on the O-ring stuff. Because, it's exactly the same as the stuff that I've spent the last 30 years trying to collect. So why do I want it exactly the same again, right? I don't understand the thinking there. But
these two are at least a little different.
Yeah, again, especially Cobra Commander, he's got more of a Sunbow type app thing, and I know Duke's colors are different, and hopefully he's a little thicker in the crotch. But
well, they did say they had to redo the molds for these two.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Duke. I didn't recognize him with his crotch intact.
We're just gonna keep working that same joke, huh?
Yeah.
All right, good. Just so I know.
Always fresh. What I want to get is a big dangly gold medallion necklace for Cobra Commander, so I can hang a big gold chain in front of that perfect Cobra logo. Then he'll be perfect.
But you can see these guys on card here, and that's the box art. This will be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive because it's part of the O-ring line. $41.99, shipping in November of this year.
Does he come with a jetpack?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the little weapons box down below.
Okay.
He comes with the jetpack, and he comes with his 1983 green stalker gun.
Okay.
And he comes with an American flag and
his regular backpack.
Yeah, Cobra Commander comes with some other stuff too.
And his binoculars.
Okay, cool.
Right, Rob, got it. And so we got extra stuff, just like we did for the other ones. So, yeah, if you're in on this one, I think it is still available on Hasbro Pulse. I haven't checked it in the last 8 hours.
The other two packs are still available on Hasbro Plus.
Right.
I think this one is too.
So yeah, check that one out if you're interested in it there. Yeah, it's it'll be fun. Like I said, I like this one. I'm more enthused about this one than I was the other two, because at least it's a little bit different. But I'm starting to burn out a little bit if this is all we're going to get out of these 2-packs.
That's a brand new rifle for Cobra Commander, right?
I think so.
I think it's supposed to match the rifle he's got in the beginning of the season 1.
Okay, that's
the
great.
opening.
Little bits like that, since they're tooling new stuff anyway.
Yeah,
that's great. Throw in a little bit like that. And if it feels like the O-ring releases are losing their luster a little bit, check out Call Sign Longbow or Operation Recall.
You know, we'll have more information about those sometime soon.
Ooh, that's called a teaser.
A teaser.
$42 though.
Yeah,
for 2 of them. Yeah, it's a little high.
I could get a mind bender for that with like cutlery and yard tools and
it's got a brain in a jar.
other stuff he doesn't
that
need.
grilling tool.
Salad tongs.
It's salad
Juicer.
spoons for when he helps with the birthing.
Monkey Wrench is like, I could put one of those tongs on my rifle. It'd be great.
Fork rifle, spoon rifle.
Spoon.
And then, of course, as they parted company with us on Wednesday, we were left with this graphic with the message to stay tuned, and there was the sound of a tank rolling by in the background. And this has got everybody all a Twitter.
On the Twitter.
It does
On
confirm
the Twitter.
that there is a HasLab project on tap for the G.I. Joe Classified series, which is great.
Perhaps.
It does imply that this is going to be a tank of some kind, which is frightening but great.
Why is it frightening?
I ain't got no room for nothing like that. Come on now.
Maybe it's an armadillo.
Hey,
Well, then we can do it.
Then we can do it.
Let's go around the table. Racktime Rob, we'll start with you. What they trying to sell us?
Logic says to me, Hiss tank.
It is easily the most iconic tank in G.I. Joe lore.
Yeah.
Joe Colton.
Yeah, I agree with Rob.
Okay.
It would be cool if it wasn't, and they threw a curveball.
Considering the size of some of these HasLab projects, like I said, I think there is an off chance that we might be looking Mobat or Mauler in some fashion. But yeah, I think Hiss tank's most likely.
So what you're saying is a Wolverine is out.
Not necessarily.
I mean,
So you're
I don't
saying
think they
there's a chance.
Yes, but I don't think they do CoverGirl on her own. You know,
yeah, it's certainly it's iconic. I would put CoverGirl in that in that 1% category. Not insignificant, but not particularly likely either.
Yeah.
Mark Weber.
it would help keep prices down if it's a Wolverine without a figure, right? Buy CoverGirl in the store, put her on our tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're going to go nuts. I mean, they gave us a brand new Sky Striker that's the same size as the old Sky Striker. So, but yeah, his tank is the safe money, right?
Yeah.
No. Oh, a Cobra Imp with those little yellow mines that look like lifesavers.
Right.
Terrible toy.
It's everyone's favorite rolling box. The
Yeah,
Cobra
here it
Imp.
comes. Look out. A lot of wind resistance on that
Oh, that
Cobra
thing looks
Imp.
like a blue wooden shoe.
I'm kind of hip to this armadillo idea. Maybe an armadillo with armadillo. The ugliest figure of all time.
That would be a tragic waste of a figure build.
Yeah.
The blandest.
Says the guy who just showed us the Crimson Bat.
He didn't make the Crimson Bat.
Nobody showed us.
Yeah, you know what? Crimson Bat, 20-time winner over Armadillo.
Yeah, Armadillo, the blandest figure ever.
I like that he had a molded helmet that was smaller than an actual human skull.
Yeah.
Pretty solid right there.
He was like G.I. Joe's version of Lobot.
Solid Lobot reference.
And but I'm going to go dark horse on this one. I'm going to say because of all the hullabaloo surrounding the character, that's a triple T.
I can see that. Open canopy, not a lot of tooling.
Get a repaint Sarge on there.
Damn thing is 80% treads anyway.
Yeah, the triple T though is one step above the motorcycles. So
right, it's like a skateboard with an armored box on top. But
yeah,
but if you're, it's an easy redo for Sarge.
Yeah.
In a spot where like Sarge is a tough guy to repaint 100 times and make your money back, but that would be one.
Yep.
That would be a way to grab a lot of cash when you're doing it.
I mean, there's not a lot to the triple T, right? You got the cannons and 2 missiles?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I don't like the triple T.
I
I'll bet you it's triple T. I'll bet you.
I think that's a hell of a pick.
Again, I'm just trying to. I'll be honest. Do I think it's really going to be a triple T? I don't really think that, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate on that one and just throw something different into the.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm going to say I hope you're wrong.
I could see that pitch being made and it getting approved up the chain, right?
Right.
Over, it's a HISS tank, it's big, What's a classified HISS tank would be what? 18 inches long, probably?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, but a triple T would be half that, right?
Right.
So I could see them saying, you know what, they'll never approve something that big right out the gate. So let's start with the triple T. It'll tie in with Sergeant Slaughter. It'll be great. And repaint options. Now, the HISS doesn't have them, but I could totally see them saying, we'll start small, see how big of a hit it is, and then decide if we want to allocate tooling to a larger vehicle. Even though if it doesn't get funded, it doesn't get funded, right? I mean, there are some man hours, but that's the whole point of HasLab.
Right.
And they shouldn't have to have proof of concept, really.
Right. You're not sitting on a warehouse full of failed product if it doesn't work out.
I realize they don't want to have it be, their hit and miss record to be like 50%, but HISS tank for the win, I think. But I love the triple T. I see, there's a lot of merit.
I see him funding look, if that's the case, I see a HISS tank getting funded a lot better than a triple T.
Look,
so do I.
If Vegas was taking bets on this, I got $20 on a HISS tank.
Yeah.
And I'll win $21 with it, and that's that. But really, just to throw that into the discussion, triple T, I don't think is as far off as some people might think it is.
No, and $5 on a triple T will net you 25.
Right.
So
as we place fantasy booking odds,
right,
on a HasLab project,
right, at FanDuel.com, and make it rain.
What's the skinny on the boys in Vegas? What do they say?
What's the word on the street?
Jeff Butler, triple T equals try this thing.
No, it doesn't. Tag team Terminator, baby.
That's right. I don't know how tag team figures into it.
I don't know.
But I guess it's got 2 pegs for 2 guys to ride on the side.
They get their shins burned off when he fires the missiles.
He fires those missiles, right?
Maybe it's a triple H tank and you can't roll it over.
You go back to the old cartoon and Sci-Fi and Quick Kicker riding on the side of it, showing us how it's done. That's Freebird rules right there. Because if there was ever going to be a bunch of guys that look like pro wrestlers hitting the ring, Sarge, Sci-Fi, and Quick Kick as a 3.
That's it. Sci-Fi looks like RoboCop, right?
Yeah.
He teamed with Sting.
He's 1-0 in WCW. Joe Colton has lost interest in our broadcast tonight.
Capital Combat.
Right.
Don't miss it.
Remember, if you're watching us on YouTube tonight, remember to please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Those are the things you can do to help us out the most. Be sure to come back, leave a comment for us. If you have some thoughts about any of the stuff we've discussed, especially the HasLab, go ahead and leave comments down below. We try to answer those as the week goes on. If you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead and leave some kind of an emotion for us there. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. We love little huggy guy. Again, but the most important thing you can do is head on over to YouTube at some point and subscribe to our channel there. If you're not watching us live, you're watching us on recording, thank you. We appreciate you too. Please do all those YouTube things. We really could use the help. Because wow, our channel growth is strong. We're not losing anybody. We're not gaining anybody either. So we're counting on you guys to help us out.
We're trying all new things. I cursed this week. Very exciting.
Very exciting. I was thrown.
Whoever had that square just made a bunch of money.
On that one.
Yeah.
Action Figure Expert said, hey, what about this? We've gotten a few different shapes for the HISS tank. What if we got a whole new head tank? Not shaved like anything we've ever, not shaped, I'm going to guess, like anything we've ever gotten. I don't see it happening. On a line that has gotten more and more retro themed. Mark is desperately, I know what he wants to say, and he's not going to say it because his kids are in the same zip code. So,
no, and I don't know what restrictions they're working under. And the designer is brilliant. One of my favorite friends in the industry. So I'm not slamming on Lenny. I don't know what he, They can only cook with the groceries they're given.
Right.
So that's why I'm sometimes it feels like I'm weighing whether or not to say anything, because I don't want to ever make it seem like I'm anti-Lenny or anti something he did.
Oh, no, not at all. I thought you were just holding in a dick joke.
No.
My bad. I misread the holder there. Okay.
I'm a gentleman. Thank you very much. But I'm just like, you think they're going to come up with something totally unique and inventive and brand new to the line? Because other than what we saw that came out of the video game that they were syncing with, we haven't seen anything like that.
Right.
Anything. And the line, the two best parts of being a Joe fan when I was a kid was finding that first figure on the shelf and flipping it over to see what 20 new characters were coming out this year. Or and then the first vehicle where you got the pull-out catalog and you got to see all the new vehicles coming this year.
Oh, I remember the 1983 pamphlet.
See, and yeah, that was it, because that was the biggest jump year to year, right?
Rob showed me it was what, the Battle Bear, and like you could see the brain squeezing out my left ear, because I said, you mean even the old guys have arms that move now? And looking at the picture of Rock and Roll holding his gun like this with the swivel arms.
Yep.
Even the guys they sold last year, they can do that now. And Rob's like, yeah, it looks like it. And I don't I blacked out after that.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And we hadn't even gotten to the plane and the helicopter yet.
Right?
No, me and my buddy Eric McGlasson, who shared a collection, when that came out, whoever got one first ran to the other one, and we figured out what we would ask for our birthdays and for Christmas to try to cover the line between the two of us. And so they're missing that. Both Joe and Transformers, which are the two brands I worked on heaviest at Hasbro, have completely lost the script on that. That it was newness and it was brand new characters that drove both lines. And now they have such deep rosters that they say, well, we've got all these really popular characters. They don't even consider making a brand new character. Can you imagine if one of the guys in the line that we saw this week was a brand new Cobra Trooper or Cobra Hierarchy guy or a Joe Specialist that we've never heard of before, never in the comic, never in the movies? Like, it would be awesome, but they don't do that.
Now, Joe Colton, you were thinking dick joke, right?
Nope.
That's a lie.
All right, so who's watching TV?
Right?
Wes is watching TV.
Probably the wrist lock.
What's he watching?
I don't know. I just heard a Dairy Queen commercial.
Right?
He's watching wrestling.
Is he getting you Dairy Queen?
Is he watching wrestling or AEW? Oh.
What are you watching?
AEW.
AEW.
Let me know when wrestling's on.
I would not buy this without knowing somebody personally that used it. That's too expensive to workshop.
That blasted semiphalange, which right there, best username we have seen in some time. The problem with HasLab is that many of the concepts would sell at retail. They don't need a crowdfunding. A HISS tank would be an easy sell at retail. And you know what? In terms of crowd demand, sure. In terms of actually getting Target, Walmart, whoever to give you shelf space, not at all.
Yeah.
Easy sell to fans. It's not an easy sell to buyers. And that's the problem you run into.
That's the sale that Hasbro's got to make.
Right. That's why we've got crowdfunding HasLab projects.
Toys R Us is dead, kids.
Yeah.
If I'm a Walmart or Target toy buyer, I'm not taking it either. The brand has only been marketed towards hardcore fans for years.
Right?
Yeah.
So what's your plan? What's your rollout? Where's your digital activation? Because that website ain't been updated in a long time. So how are you getting kids and parents into my toy aisle to buy this thing? Because I guarantee you they'd like more kids and parents in the toy aisle and less guys like me going, hey, when's the new wave come out? Do you have it in the back?
Hey, look, at my Target, there's not even room for Marvel Legends.
Yeah, it's
the 6-inch Marvel Legends are not there, and they had a new wave for a movie that's coming out with an actual character people have heard of.
Is there room for them, Rob, and they're not filled, or is there no stripe?
No, there's no stripe.
That's rough.
Because the last several waves that they've done for Marvel Legends, Shang-Chi wave was a turd. Eternals wave was worse than a turd.
Oh, that's Joe Colton fighting words.
The Doctor Strange, and they didn't have any room for the Doctor Strange stuff because they were still trying to get rid of all the Eternal crapola.
Yeah, that lingered.
And Articulated Chad, who was with us last week, thank you again.
And there's no room for classified either at my Target. There are at some of the bigger ones, but because every time you went there was just Snake Eyes movie stuff.
Yeah,
that they can't get rid of.
But a comment here: newness is going to come from Call Sign Longbow, Marauders, Operation Recall, and other IPs. Joe is stuck back in its own shadow now, and I'll even go so far as to say it's not just Joe. Like anything. Tell me the last time we had an actual original idea go over in this geeky type fandom stuff that we do.
Yeah.
I mean, Transformers has had a little tiny bit. I'll give them some credit.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, Transformers is a 35-year-old property, and they keep doing Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Bumblebee.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give, for the general purposes of the argument, not at all.
What's the last new toy you saw catch on?
Yeah, I mean,
a whole line, you mean,
even just a new property. I'm not even talking toys.
Yeah, I'll give that.
Most of the stuff that lights the fire on this crowd, and only this crowd, is something that was around when we were kids, and there's lots of creativity in the business. I don't want to make it sound like nobody's working on that sort of thing, but they get shot down by suits who say, no, that's not what people want. People don't want new. They want the same old thing. And we win that argument for them by continuing to buy the same old thing.
And with the death of the toy store, there's no room for new.
Right. Like I'm thinking Stranger Things was probably the last thing that really got over that was new. And it got over by playing all the nostalgia beats inside its show.
Yeah.
And it was hard to activate at retail, right?
Right.
And sell a lot of Stranger Things stuff.
Right. So it's a difficult thing, and it's bigger than Joe. It's much bigger than Joe. It's much bigger than Hasbro. We've kind of got a generation stuck in nostalgia right now. And I'm not saying it's not great nostalgia, but that's where we are. Like new is going to come from somebody who's new.
But there's been very little oversight over Joe in the last several years, and I don't know what it's truly like right now. But it wasn't hard to make Tombstone. It wasn't hard to make Stiletto, right? Brand new, and the fans dug them. Would have dug Tombstone more if they'd made them like I wanted.
Ryan Sweeney says Fortnite is the last new line, and there too.
Yeah.
Got popular because it hit all the nostalgia beats for an older audience than the people that play the game. I mean, what does Fortnite do? It rips off ideas from G.I. Joe. It rips off ideas from Ninja Turtles. It rips off ideas. And I'm not saying that as a negative. Like they got a product to sell, so yeah, get stuff that people are interested in. But it's not really new.
Fortnite actually proved that kids would buy action figures.
Right.
At a time when most retail stores were completely sour on as a kid-focused product, right? So I'm grateful to Fortnite like crazy.
Joe Colton, you doing all right down there?
Mm-hmm.
You lying to me?
Mm-mm.
You're lying to me. Mm-mm. Lying to me.
No.
It's hard to save the world all day and then hang out with us while listening to faux wrestling in the background.
We are kind of a lot.
Her cocaine has crashed.
For a second there, you look tired, but it might just be the Young Bucks on TV.
No, I'm exhausted. Like I can feel myself like.
Oh no, you're doing the science class head bob?
Yeah.
Hey.
Once I'm like, oh God, it's coming. I'm like, oh, this is not gonna be good.
Don't support the head with the hand. That's a dead giveaway.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's just kind of a popular culture thing right now. We don't even even popular TV shows are reboots or restarts. or relaunches, and it's difficult to come with new. But yeah, you guys have throw some more questions at us by all means. We got a lot of stuff going on with GI Joe tonight, so we've got a little bit of time left to answer some questions. But let's see. Firefly offers his support. Good to know there's another Young Bucks hater in the house.
That's it. Same match. Just tape it. Watch it over and over again.
Right.
Be the same match next week.
Like if they're the lesser team in a match, it's usually a good match. Like when they fight Penta and Ray Phoenix, it's usually a good match because Penta and Ray Phoenix are better than them and can kind of pull them up. But yeah, I don't. It's really super choreographed stuff, and it just takes me out of the fact that these guys are supposed to be having a fight.
And they have the same ref for every one of their matches.
Right.
He's the one that'll let them stay in the ring for 35 seconds without even trying to count or pretend like that's a bad thing. Right?
Articulated Chad says, Mark, why do they consider Joe an emerging brand? Insight or opinion?
It's just how they define their brand. So that's something that's small, but they have bigger hopes for.
Right.
So it doesn't matter that it's been around forever or saved the entire damn company 3 times. Right now it's an emerging brand. That's probably where it belongs. It wasn't even that for a while.
Yeah,
so be grateful for that.
Yeah. It was nothing for a couple of years. So
yeah, it was what they used to call that thing Weber does, I think.
And then after that, it wasn't called anything at all.
No, and think about that. If that's what it was, what was Visionaries and ROM and Mask and Action Man and Stretch Armstrong?
I believe that's officially called Pipe Dream.
Yeah, I got Stretch built. Didn't sell, but whatever.
But Jeff Butler asks, any of you going to see the G.I. Joe the movie on the big screen? Mark Weber, you got your tickets?
You know what? Not going. And I love that they're bringing it back. I love a lot of the stuff that Fathom Events does. Just went and saw the Facing Nolan documentary about Nolan Ryan. It was great. I saw their Michael Hutchins documentary, so I'm a big NXS honk from back in the day. Took the kids to see Blues Brothers in the theater, which was fantastic. But I have the Joe movie. I've seen it 100 times, and I hated Cobra Law. That was a big divorce for me when that became the push for the brand for a little while. And I know that's polarizing. Some people love it, some people hate it. I hate it. So.
Joe Colton, you going to the movie?
No.
You got to sleep that day.
I get to sleep.
You got to sleep sometimes.
I was slow on pulling the trigger. I didn't get tickets for Saturday, and I can't do Thursday. So
you're not going?
Yeah. Not unless something opens up on that Saturday show.
Matt P. Saturday show.
Matt P. is making a bad assumption that a show of a criticism of AEW is
right.
Support for WWE. Those two things are not the same thing.
No.
You want to talk about a company that can't book its ass out of the ground. Yeah, there you go. So no, it's a lot of criticisms there too, but it's only a 2-hour show and we're almost out of time.
I don't get people who define themselves as fans of a promotion. I'm a fan of good wrestling.
Right.
Whoever provides it for me, I'll be grateful to.
I am a fan of WWE. I am a fan of AEW when they do stuff that's good, when they do stuff that entertains me.
And there ain't much. Me not liking AEW doesn't mean I'm endorsing what WWE's doing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I caught the end of Hell in a Cell this past week, and I said to Ragtime Rob, it's like, they put on a great show there, but man, the month leading up to it was garbage. So it didn't, like, that month didn't mean anything except for the Cody Seth Rollins match, which I thought was really excellent.
I like that they unified their world and tag team titles and then didn't bother defending them on a big pay-per-view.
Right.
It must be really important.
That's a huge issue when you put both the big straps on one guy and then sign him to an extension that lets him play in the sandbox part-time. Yep. Oh my God! I don't want to go down that hole. Wait, where to go?
Mm. It was interesting to watch it.
Here's something in the meantime, bit off topic, but do you think any of you think Hasbro will ever do anything with Micronauts? And no.
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 I actually read the initial script when I was there. They were thinking it was going to be the next one after the G.I. Joe movie, which at the time was G.I. Joe 3, not Snake Eyes, let's change his origin and make him lame. And not show the
And a
suit for the 5
dick.
minute. Yeah,
Make him Snake Eyes, let's make him the bad guy.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing really heroic about our hero. But no, Micronauts was supposed to be the next one. And Mask. Those are the two that were in development. And both scripts, dreadful. Just rotten. So the fact that nothing came of them is a boon, is a godsend.
It's a net positive.
Ooh.
Road Pig John asks, Honcho and team, because Mark, you're in charge. What do you think if Hasbro make the Warthog for Sergeant Slaughter?
Isn't that like a super imp?
I mean, it's better than the Triple T.
It's better than the imp.
It's not better cost wise though, right? It would be at least 50% or twice as much.
Yeah.
It'd be just massive.
Yeah, because that's primarily a troop carrier. So yeah,
I don't see it.
Not iconic. I wouldn't go with that.
No. That notwithstanding. Just no. Less than 1%. We'll put it in that category.
I like that Slaughter.
Yeah.
But no.
Let's see. Andrew Galgan says, CoverGirl makes me wonder, would the Joe TB, excuse me, would the Joe design team be able to use parts for another Hasbro line like Marvel Legends? CoverGirl arms look like Walmart Avengers Black Widow. Maybe.
It's kind of tricky. When I was on Joe and when Daryl showed me the reality of what tooling still existed for vehicles, I looked at the limitations of our item count. I said, hey, could we steal some of those Captain America military-ish vehicles they made that were never in the movie, right? But they made some Captain America vehicles. I'm like, can we steal some of those and repaint them as Joe or Cobra? They'd be new to the line. The tooling's already done. And he said flat no. And I said, okay, but tell me why, so I won't ask that kind of question again. And he said it'd be a logistical nightmare with the Marvel team, royalty-wise, and the vehicles are crap. They wouldn't hold up to the G.I. Joe standard. And I'm like, okay. So the second bit, I totally get, because I'd never held the vehicles. I didn't know that they would feel cheap compared to regular Joe stuff. But he said it might be rough royalty-wise. So
Firefly says, for Webb, so as an emerging brand, what are they hoping G.I. Joe is going to turn into by recycling it over and over as a nostalgia brand? Doesn't that essentially make it a dead end? For Firefly, that's what I've been saying about popular culture in general. So, yeah. So, Webb, do you agree since it's pointed to you?
It is water. Going after the existing collector is just water draining out of a sink slowly. It might last for a while. You might make some cool stuff that's, reminiscent or derived from the original stuff. But if you're not if you're not growing the brand or building new collectors, then it's just water draining out of a sink. So I'm not saying sky is falling, it's going away tomorrow. But other than the website, which was, I guess comprehensive, but not terribly compelling, what have they done with Joe to appeal to a new collector other than the video game, which was bad since Classified launched? Nothing. So, yeah, it is a straight collector play.
And that website hasn't been updated in 2 years.
That's it. So, that's not a terrible thing. It's better than getting nothing, because for a long time we got nothing. So I don't want to be ungrateful for what we're getting. But yeah, it is a slowly evaporating fan base. All fan bases are. If you don't add kindling to the fire, it burns out. And that's where it is.
Jeff Butler asks, why can't Mask gain any traction? It's always basically Joe and Transformers combined with great designs. And I'm the first to agree that Mask was a great toy line. I don't want to make it sound like I'm hating on Mask here, but Mask was not quite G.I. Joe enough to be G.I. Joe, and it wasn't quite Transformers enough to be Transformers. That was always my take on. Yeah, always my take on Mask. And like Rob said, it is a vehicle line.
That's tough to sell these days.
Right. So,
I mean, and it was always a vehicle line because the figures were trash. So
yeah, there's not a lot of standout characters, you know.
Well, they're just physically the figures standing up to anything. Star Wars, even at the day, they were small.
Yeah, what were they? 2 inches?
Like 2.5. Like
2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
They had knees, but not elbows, and
they had arms and legs and knees,
but no eyes, right? No painted.
I mean, they had to
eyes
scale those down to get the features they wanted into the toys. And
the trick here is because it's what Kenner did when they saw Joe and Transformers kicking ass. They went, we'll take a little of both, make our own line. Kids will love it. And they did okay. But if you were going to do it with anything entertainment-wise, if it ties to Transformers, then it pays a Transformers royalty to Paramount. So now you're talking double royalty if you're going to make Mask anything entertainment-wise.
That is if you tie it to Transformers.
That ties to Transformers.
Jeff adds, I think there's meat on the Mask bones that's just sitting there, same with the Visionaries. I'll say I think there's more there for Visionaries than there is for Mask.
Yeah.
I think look, Visionaries at least does the wizards and magic stuff, and you know, it kind of works its way into the He-Man corner of the world. You know, like that's its competition there. But like Mask is again, it's not Joe enough to be Joe. It's not Transformers enough to be Transformers. So I'm not sure where it fits in a market that is nostalgia rooted. So
if you go back to the 80s numbers, Visionaries sold far less than any of the other brands you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Mask got 4 assortments. Yeah.
Yeah, Mask got a heck of a lot more going to it. I just like story-wise, if you're going to, which is how I was interpreting that, I think Visionaries had a little bit more to give. Visionaries just happened along at a time when Masters died. So people just weren't into the sorcery and barbarian stuff at that particular moment for whatever reason.
No one loves Ookla.
Nobody.
Mask story was, we got good guys with masks, we got bad guys with masks, their vehicles changing stuff. Hey, these look cool, buy them.
Let's go racing.
And they're open, or the MacGuffin in every show where he sits down at the computer and says, tell me what agents are best for this mission. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I would plug that into any entertainment that I was involved with moving forward. I would love that for Joe, to have Duke and Scarlet go to the computer and go, what agents do we have in outer Slobovia who can help? The computer spins and you're at home as a kid. Mike's going, please, Beachhead, please, Beachhead. Joe's saying, anybody but Recondo, anybody but Recondo.
Justice League Unlimited, that's essentially what they did.
I'm not familiar with that, but I think that's a great hook.
Yeah. Justice League Unlimited was basically, it was the continuation of the Justice League cartoon, where they had they had 7 members, but then in Unlimited they expanded to basically everybody. You know, so basically you'd have a thing, and they just it was hey, who's showing up this week? So
yeah, that's great because you're rooting for your guy.
But, Matt Rubin asked, and this will be the last one for today. Which is bigger, Mask or Thundercats? We're only getting Thundercats figures because through Super 7. How much of a chance do we have of getting official 4-inch Mask vehicles and figures? I would say Thundercats is bigger. I would say we're splitting hairs a little bit. When I talk to people about toys in real life, I always call it the Thundercat line. Like, if it deserves a reboot, you have to be bigger than that. And that's a short list. And because Thundercats was a pretty big deal, and it just like the redos have never stuck.
Yeah.
So I think you have to be. I think you got to be bigger than that one to really deserve a comeback.
Hey, pop up Joel McMullen's comment here, just so I can comment on it real quick. About the only way Mask Visionaries.
Let me find it. Welcome back, Joel.
Right. Good to see you.
The only way Mask Visionaries, Micronauts, etc. will even enter Hasbro's consciousness again if they somehow lose the Star Wars and Marvel rights.
And that's exactly why they had them prospectively as a combined universe that they wanted to get off the ground. Remember that, what was it, Revolution set that I did for San Diego Comic-Con, and the idea of putting them all together, that was to lock up the trademarks for a couple more years because the Star Wars and Marvel rights were coming due from Disney in a couple years. And the royalty is so onerous on those that it's easy to get them to sell, but it's hard to make money on them.
Right.
And so they wanted to build the owned brands, boys brands, no offense, that's what they call them, for Hasbro, strong enough that they could actually look at Disney and say, we love your stuff, we don't have to have it. And none of that worked.
Okay, so let's real quick, because we're almost out of time. Joe Colton, shout it out.
I'm going to shout out to my husband, who was awesome. William, who did not drive today when I picked him up at the airport. My mom and dad. Mom had her passport expire, and she actually braved the headquarters of the passport office in Toronto for 5 hours to make sure that she got her passport renewed. Otherwise, it would be like a 6-month wait. So,
good honor.
Yes. So,
all right.
And to you guys, it's wonderful seeing you.
I'll let you go first because you look like you're fading on us.
I am. I'm trying so hard.
Rack Time Rob, shout it out.
Shout out to the Peanut Gallery tonight. Thanks for coming. That's all I got.
All right, Mark Weber.
We mentioned it before, but let's give a shout out to Roger Taft, who, by his own admission, had a hospital stay, but is back home and doing better. So we're happy that he was back home and healing up. And I mean, what better news is there? Oh, give a shout out to Barrington Christian Academy. Last day of school today. No more after school care with Mr. Weber. But it was a cool day. Nice service to wrap up the school year, and off they go to summer, and so do I.
That's right. Your annual Flag Day picnic activity with the family.
I mean, I've never been a school employee / pseudo teacher before.
Right.
So this is my first summer break since I was 18. So hot damn.
Look, Rack Time Rob left the house today, and he actually hissed when he saw the sun.
That's me. That's me. That's doing the Weber.
And the sad thing is, it's cloudy.
Right.
Right. But I want to give a shout out to you guys, of course, Joe Colton, Mark Weber, Rack Time Rob. Thank you so much. To our good friend Michael Mercy, who we got to talk to earlier this evening. We did a project with him that you'll get the lowdown on a little bit later on. Give a shout out to our good pal Joe Slepsky, who I worked on a project with earlier this week. Double shout out for Roger. Thanks for keeping us posted. We're glad that you are doing better, my friend. That was pretty scary stuff. And so just a thought to everybody out there. If you're not feeling well, get it checked out. This wasn't even a COVID thing. This was just a random infection that got out of control. And then while he was down fighting that, he got hit with shingles. It was rough stuff. And, nothing life-threatening, but certainly enough to knock him out for a good while. But he got it taken care of very, very quickly. And so his recovery time is going to be a lot better. So remember, please, if you don't feel well, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever, get the help that you need, please. Give a shout out to everybody still dealing with the COVID crisis. We are at a point where there's a lot of spots where there are cases rising. So if you are in one of those areas, mask up when you're in crowds and you're inside. Just be cool about it. We're only going to beat this thing by working together. So let's keep doing that. We're certainly in a much better spot today than we were 2 years ago. But let's keep fighting the good fight. Okay, this isn't about politics. This is about keeping one another safe, keeping one another healthy. And of course, shout out to you guys if you're watching us live. Thank you so much. If you're catching us on YouTube, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us on Facebook, leave us some kind of a reaction. If you're listening to a recording, we appreciate you too. Please keep doing that. If you're catching us on Podbean or any of our other audio channels, We appreciate it. We really do. We cannot do this without you. We wouldn't do this without you. So we really appreciate it when you come and have fun with us. Be sure to join us tomorrow night. We will be back again at 9 p.m. Joe Colton will not be here. She will probably still be asleep.
Hopefully.
But I will be here. Mark will be here. Racktime Rob will be here. We will have John and Troy with us from Call Sign Longbow. We'll be winding down the last hour of the Call Sign Longbow Kickstarter and doing a little wrap up afterwards. And again, that is all tomorrow night here on the What's on Joe Mind channel at 9 p.m. As far as going forward, we're going to wrap up guest host month. Next week, Michael Mercy will join us here in the Honcho's chair. And then on June 24th, Joe Slepsky will join us here in the Honcho's chair. So there you go. There's those names again. Good friends of the program, and we appreciate them stepping in and filling in for Mark in Yojo June.
And I don't want my chair to be unnaturally warm when I get back.
They have been given direct orders to mess up the button.
Just saying.
I'm not going to say it's going to be warm, but it will be moist.
Yes.
Ooh, and
That's worse.
Racktime Rob gets the mute button. He is done for the night.
Girls hate that word.
Ooh, moist chair. And on that note, thanks for joining us here on What's on Joe Mind. As our good friend Vagon likes to say, be safe, and if you can't, be careful. We will catch you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. and then on every Friday afterwards for another episode of the Team Stream. Have a great weekend, and yo, Joe.